Hey guys, DRJ here, bringing you some CoD XIM3 action. So, before we get into this, just wanted to share with you that I'm wearing a nice, fresh, warm pair of undies from the dryer. It puts me in a great mood. So let's have some fun, shall we? Okay. So, where were we? So this is me trying out the XIM3. It's a mouse and keyboard adapter for the console. Bruce has threatened to never talk to me ever again for using such a device because it would give me an unfair advantage. My argument against that is to first tell him to go fuck himself. And after I'm done saying that, you know, if this does, well, before I start talking about this, I think there's a whole lot of different advantages when it comes to playing video games. You know, you've got internet connections, you've got dedicated monitors, you've got dedicated monitors. Well, yeah, you know, gaming monitors, you've got controllers, you've got, you know, whether or not you're in a room that no one else is running in and out of and going fucking ballistic all day. That's a nice fucking kill, by the way. He shot those two assholes and hit me through the wall. It's amazing. So, there's a lot of different advantages out there. Playtime, obviously, it's something people don't even think about, but it's still an advantage. If you get the opportunity to play 10 hours a day, you're probably going to be better than someone who gets the opportunity to play 1. So that's just sort of where I'm going with this. Is it's one of the possible advantages in a sea of possible advantages. That's nice. That's going to happen a lot throughout this video. So, anyway, where am I at with this? The XIM3, this will be the first and the last time you see me playing with the XIM3 because it does not work up to my expectations as to what a mouse should play with while in game. As you can see, I'm definitely moving faster than normal, but I'm trying to think how to put this. The way I like to play with a mouse is I like to flick the mouse. I don't know if this is because, you know, I grew up playing on a tiny little fucking mouse pad the size of a thumbtack, or if or that's just the way that I move, but the XIM3 does not support small, fast movements with the mouse. I don't know if it's the XIM3, I don't know if it's the game. Consoles have a whole lot of different factors built into them that are just simply not there on the PCs. They have things like dead zones, aim assist, and what is the other one? Well, just the biggest one is the mouse movement speed, or the look speed rather. You have caps or limits on how fast you can move or look at any one time, and you know, you're playing around with your XIM3. It's basically up to you to figure out some sort of medium ground where you can still move quickly without reaching that sensitivity overload. But as far as I'm concerned, like I can't get a sensitivity anywhere that allows me to play the way that I do on PC. This doesn't look anything like it. Basically, I'm trying to think how to put this. You move the mouse, you can turn up your sensitivity so when you move the mouse, it moves quickly in game. But like I said, if you move too quickly with the mouse, it doesn't register it. And if you have an issue, or if you're not somebody that likes to play, that flicks their mouse, if you know, just steadily move it all the time, you would probably do really well with the XIM3. But if you're like me and you flick the mouse a lot, it wouldn't work. That being said, they don't offer refunds, and I'm looking to sell it on the cheap. So if you're interested, send me a message. Let's see, what else? Anyway, so my scores are a little bit better in this game than they are with the controller, mainly because I feel like I'm just better aiming with the mouse. And that's something the XIM lets you definitely do, is I can fine-tune my aiming with the mouse. So most guys that are within my frontal field of vision are usually dead pretty quick. But like I said, it's not possible to pan. For me, it's not possible to quickly flick my mouse and pan over 45 degrees. It's something that this mouse, or I'm sorry, either the XIM or the console just can't do. So it doesn't work for me. But if you go to their website, there's a lot of videos where guys are just wrecking face with it. So I don't know, maybe it's me, I don't know, but I can't figure it out. and I've spent way too long trying to do so. So I'm done with it. Like I said, this is the first and the last time you will see me trying to use this adapter. I think that the inability, like I said, use mouse and keyboard is a huge black mark against consoles. I'm really not sure why these settings are there that prevent you from doing things like quickly flicking the mouse. I don't know if that's why they're there, is to stop you from using a mouse peripheral, but yeah, I'm not even sure. I've got the napalm strike so few times, I'm not even sure how to use it. I'm not really sure why all those limiting factors are in there. I just fucking napalmed our own building. That's amazing. So yeah, I don't know why they're there. It doesn't really make any sense to me. And I think, you know, when the next gens come out, they're going to be forced to use mouse and keyboards for no other reason than that they will get a share in the MMO market by buying into mouse and keyboards. You know, looking at Blizzard's whatever 12 million subscriber base. Oh, yeah, there, as I said, and it rocketed me off the edge as well. Looking at Blizzard's 12 million subscribers that pay 15 bucks a month is way too much money to ignore, and I guarantee that the next gen consoles, like I said, if for no other reason than buying the MMO market, will most likely be supporting a mouse and a keyboard of some type, some other peripheral. I have a really hard time. I mean, if you look at how long consoles have been out right now, I mean, what is it, maybe like 8 years or something? Stuck again, unbelievable. So, if you look how consoles, like I said, have been out for about 8 years or so, and I have a really hard time imagining that by the time the next gens come out, which will probably be in another couple years, basically these are really expensive, and you know, they're going to be out for a little longer than the older ones were. Also, they push graphics so hard that, not to say that they can't make the same push all over again, but they push so hard for graphics in this set of consoles that it's just not easy to make the same graphical jump all over again. It costs a lot of money, and oh, concussion grenade myself. And I don't think that's something that they necessarily want to do. So, anyway, I have a hard time imagining when those next gens do come out that, you know, say they come out, whatever, next year, 2012, and they're out for an average of 10 years again. I have a really hard time imagining we'll still be using controllers the same way that we are now, the same way that we have for the last 15 or 20 years, in like the year 2024. It just, I mean, what a bag of shit that would be. It just seems insane to use the same device for the last 40 years. That just, what a waste. What a waste of a napalm strike while we're at it. Oh god, they're all dead. Mouse is too superior. So, well, that was way too many guys. Got greedy. That's basically always the balance that I have to hit in a game like this, especially if I'm playing it on PC. You know, you get, basically just start walking through people, and you know, before you know it, you don't realize that you found yourself over on their side. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. You don't realize you found yourself over on their side of the base, and you know, they all start spawning on you, and you just die instantly. So, anyway, like I said, consoles probably will be supporting mouse keyboard because it's a lot of money they're looking past if they don't do it. But that being said, like there's, oh man, it's something I've talked about on my website. I wrote a big article, a couple different articles on it, but what happens, man, what happens, like let's assume, just for argument's sake, let's assume that we know consoles are going to support mouse and keyboard, and they do when they come out, right? The Xbox 720 hops out, oh, has mouse and keyboard support. So what do they do then? I mean, we know that PC, I'm sorry, not necessarily PC, but we know mouse and keyboard is generally a little bit more accurate and faster to respond than a controller. So if we know that, or more importantly, if that's what Microsoft thinks as well, based on those tests that they did, like, is that going to further divide the gaming community up? Like, what are we going to see as far as gaming lobbies go? You know, one of my issues already is what happens when, you know, your buddy has a PS3 and you have an Xbox, and, you know, your buddy down the street's running a PC. Like, what do you guys do? You all have the same game and none of you can play with each other? That fucking sucks. well, what happens if they start saying, like, you know, mouse and keyboard players can't play with controller players because it's an unfair advantage? Like, are we going to end up with the same 3, you know, separate platforms in addition to, you know, like mouse and keyboard only lobbies, controller only lobbies, and then combination lobbies, in addition to all the different game types? You know, that's one of the things that I've definitely thought about, and to be honest, I'm a little worried about happening. Yeah, I think it's a real possibility. So, you know, hopefully it doesn't happen, but I don't know. I think fragmented player bases are something that we should all be trying to figure out a way to get around. It's one of my frustrations in general with the whole like console versus PC argument. I really wish we could all more or less be playing on the same device and at least be united in some way by the devices we play. I mean, how frustrating, like, you know, you'd have better competition, more friends, more everything if you guys, you know, if we could all be playing with each other instead of splitting up the player base, you know, like CoD, excuse me, like CoD is doing right now. We split up the player base 3 different ways, and that's not including the different game types. So, anyway, and that's not assuming, I'm trying to put this. That's not taking into account that all the different consoles and all the different machines or whatever out there don't have the same player bases in general. Xbox has a huge player base. I can't remember what it is. I mean, it's much larger than the PC's player base. You know, when I log on and play this during the day and I see whatever 600,000-700,000 people online, I log on. Well, I don't have this for PC, but I'd log on COD4 and there'd be, you know, like 50,000 people. Well, that's a bit of a difference. And then one of the other things I talked about too, like the whole console PC thing, I think it's a bonus. I think it's a good thing that actually console has a limited amount of people that you can play with, because one of the downsides to having the ability to have all that variety on PC, it means that you have just fragmented your player base that much more. So good luck playing Radiation on PC, you know, on a domination mode, you know, 6v6. It's not going to happen. You know, good luck finding Radiation period anywhere domination, and if you do, it's probably going to be on a server that's 32v32 clusterfuck chaos, where, you know, it's hard to tell who's good and who's bad in 6v6. Imagine trying to figure it out in 10v10. It's total, absolute chaos. So it simply doesn't work. There is a balance between like more and less players. You know, the more players you add, essentially the bigger cushion you get to soak up, you know, who's good and who's bad, right? You know, the smaller groups of guys, you know, if you have a, you know, if it's 6-on-6 like this and they have 2 or 3 guys who are great, or even, you know, sometimes one guy who's great, it can make a big difference. But if you're playing 15v15 or something like that, it doesn't matter how good that one guy is, there's not a whole lot that he can do. Also, if everyone hasn't noticed, I've upgraded to the AK-47. Just thought I'd try out something different. A few people have recommended that I try different guns that I do not have the option to unlock. So don't forget, I think I just hit level 38 in this, so I don't have access to the commando. I refuse to use the FAMAS. It's, in my limited playtime on COD and consoles, it is far too strong, and it's definitively the best gun, hands down, all around. No questions asked. It slaughters everyone. I know when escaping from damage, it is much less likely that I'll walk away unscathed with the FAMAS. Or I'm sorry, much less likely to walk away alive when someone's shooting me with the FAMAS. Most of their guns, depending on, you know, my ping, well, you know what your ping is, depending on my connection, I can sometimes walk away from, but the FAMAS, you really have no chance. So anyway, something else I wanted to say, now I can't remember what it is. Let's see. Oh, it was the whatchamacallit, Battlefield 1943 stuff. You guys are really perceptive, bunch of jerks. So I had actually planned on doing this whole console YouTube stuff a few years back, and I'm an idiot at COD, as you can see. So I had planned on doing this stuff a few years ago, and unfortunately what ended up happening is I got my console, downloaded 43, played a few games with Bruce, and ended up moving into the dorms at school, and their internet there was more or less non-existent, so they haven't really touched anything for several years. It's actually been, I mean, I haven't really played anything for almost the entire time I've been in school, which is the last 4.5 years or so, but I mean, for the last 2 years in the dorms, we were basically on like 56K internet, which was a lot of fun. So there really wasn't anything I could do, so it just ended up hanging up my spurs and getting caught with my pants down, reloading. So that's about it. Anyway, that wraps it up for today, so I'll just leave you guys the last few minutes of this video. Enjoy.
Securing B. Securing Alpha. Tango B. Losing Charlie. We're being dominated. Take those positions. Friendly sub-turret on the way. Enemy spy plane above. Securing B. Our spy plane's in the air. Friendly spy plane inbound. Spy plane ready for deployment. Ready to jam enemy radar. Our counter spy plane's in the air. Losing B. Securing Charlie. Securing Charlie. Enemy spy plane incoming. Securing A. C secure. Enemies jamming our radar. Friendly spy plane inbound. Friendly care package inbound. Losing Alpha. Hostile RCXD spotted in your area. Securing B. Enemy spy plane above. We lost Charlie. Mortar coordinates received. Firing for effect. Friendly spy plane inbound. Securing C. C secure. We lost Alpha. Friendly care package inbound. Hostiles jamming our radar. Friendly spy plane inbound. Friendly sound turret inbound. Securing Bravo. Be secure. Heads up, enemy RCXD spotted. Enemy spy plane incoming. Securing Alpha. Friendly spy plane inbound. Spy plane ready for deployment. Our spy plane's in the air. Counter spy plane standing by. Our counter spy plane's in the air. Losing B. Napalm strike waiting for your mark. Napalm strike coming in. All areas secure. Hold your positions. Victory is near. Keep fighting. We lost C. Our spy plane's in the air. Securing C. All areas secure. Hold your positions. With each victory,